Welcome to aminacademy.com, Future of the World. In that, we'll discuss about climate change. Climate change refers to long-term shifts in temperature and weather, weather patterns. Such shifts can be natural due to changes in the sun's activity or large volcanic eruptions. But since the 1800s, human activities have been the main driver of climate change, primarily due to the burning of fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas. Burning fossil fuels generates greenhouse gas emissions that act like a blanket wrap around the earth, trapping the sun's heat and raising temperature. The main greenhouse gases that are causing climate change include carbon dioxide and methane. These come from using gasoline for driving a car or coal for heating a building. For example, clearing land and cutting down forests can also release carbon dioxide. Agriculture, oil and gas operation are major sources of methane emission. Energy industry, transport, buildings, agriculture and land are use are among the main sectors causing greenhouse gases. Many people think that climate change mainly means warmer temperature, but temperature rise is only the beginning of the story because the earth is a system where everything is connected. Changes in one area can influence changes in all others. Climate change can affect our health, ability to grow food, housing, safety, and work. Some of us are already more vulnerable to climate impact, such as people living in small island nations and other developing countries. Conditions like sea level rise and saltwater intrusion have advanced it to the point where entire communities have had to relocate. While now let us discuss further detail about a climate change in future of the world. Future of the world is significantly threatened by unchecked climate changes, leading to record high temperatures, more severe weather events like heat waves and floods, rising sea levels, increased water security, and widespread impact on food security, human health, and economic stability. Limiting global warming to at least net zero greenhouse gas emissions is crucial to avoid the most catastrophic outcomes and protect the human right to health for all. Some climate impact to expect. Extreme weather. Expect more frequent and intense heat waves, droughts, storms, and heavy rainfall events, causing significant damage and destruction. The feature of extreme weather is characterized by increased intensity, frequency, and new pattern of heat waves, droughts, floods, and wildfires due to ongoing climate changes, leading to greater risk to human health, infrastructure, and ecosystem. While the precise future remains uncertain, the general trend points to a worsening situation unless decisive global action is taken to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and adapt to unavoidable impacts. Rising the sea level. Melting ice sheets and glaciers will contribute to rising sea levels, threatening coastal communities and ecosystem. Rising sea levels, driven by melting ice sheets and the thermal expansion of warming oceans, pose a significant future threat, with projections indicating a substantial rise in global sea levels by the end of the century and beyond. Even with low emissions scenarios, this will lead to increased flooding, the displacement of coastal population, inundation of vital infrastructure, and the loss of low-lying land and cities, requiring widespread adoption efforts and potentially forcing entire communities to relocate. Water scarcity. Increased variability in the water cycle will lead to more severe water shortages in many regions, exacerbating existing conditions. The future of the world faces worsening water scarcity, with projections showing a significant portion of global population experiencing severe shortages in 2050 due to combination of population growth, increased demand from agriculture, climate change induced drought and evaporations, poor water management and populations. This trend will likely exacerbate geopolitical tensions, reduce food and energy security, and increase the risk of displacement and conflict, requiring immediate global action through improved resource management, technological innovations, and sustainable practice to mitigate its impact. Food and water insecurity. Climate change and extreme weather events will disrupt agriculture, leading to crop failures and increased hunger and poor nutrition globally. The future of the world faces increasing food and water insecurity due to climate change, population growth, poor water management, and population, which will disproportionality affects developing economies and worsen food crisis. By 2040, water security is projected to decline in many non-arid regions, with an estimated 40% of the global population at risk of severe water scarcity. The resulting impact will include reduced agricultural output, higher food prices, economic instability, increased malnutrition, and greater risk of mortality, especially in vulnerable countries. Health risks. Climate change is a major health threat, increasing risk of deaths, non-communicable diseases, and the emergence of infectious diseases, while also damaging health infrastructure. Future health risks for the world include escalating non-communicable diseases, NCDs, the ongoing threat of infectious diseases and emerging epidemics, the severe impact of climate change on health, worsening mental health crisis, and challenge related to antimicrobial resistance. The COVID-19 pandemic highlighted the vulnerabilities in global health systems, increased mistrust in institutions, and exposed to significant health inequities, particularly in low income countries. Addressing these interconnected health issues require strengthening health system, promoting preventive care, tackling environmental factors like pollution, and fostering global collaboration and trust. Ecosystem disruption. Forests, oceans, and species are at risk due to warming temperature and environmental degradation, impacting biodiversity, and natural carbon sinks. The continued destruction of nature across the planet will result in major shocks to food supplies and safe water, the disappearance of unique species, and the loss of landscapes central to human culture and leisure by the middle of this century, experts have warned. The economic and social instability. The consequence of climate change can undermine economies, disrupt livelihood, and increase factors that lead to poverty and displacement. The future of the world faces a significant risk of increased economic and social instability due to escalating trade tensions, persistent high inflation, large debt burdens, and geopolitical conflicts which are slowing global growth and hindering development, especially in vulnerable nations. Socially, these factors are fueling extreme poverty and hunger while straining social cohesion, exacerbated by demographic shifts like aging population and increased labor force inequality. So far, we discussed about the future of the world in that climate change. We have done. Please subscribe our YouTube channel.